Hi, welcome to Mayowa's world. So this video, I'm trying to be as quick as possible. There's a hashtag going around right now on Twitter called hashtag boycott Women King. Today's video is going to be about the movie Woman King and why people are boycotting it. So the movie Woman King, I don't know if you all know, have seen trailers for it. It's featuring Viola Davis. She's also one of the producers for the show. And she decided to make a movie about the Women King, or also known as the fighters in the Dahomey Empire. For those who don't know, Dahomey Empire is what people kind of consider modern day Benin and also Nigeria. I'll probably put up a picture of Dahomey Kingdom. So there are people who are boycotting Woman King, the movie, because they are saying that it is glorifying slave traders. If y'all are new to my channel, my name is Mayowa. I like to talk about things like colonialism. I like to talk about things like anti-blackness. Like, these are all things that are within my interest. And the truth is, the reason that I find this argument strange is because a lot of people who are descendants of a slavery, like transatlantic slavery, are from the Dahomey Empire. You have ever done your ancestry.com and you're seeing Benin and you're seeing Togo, there's like a chance, a pretty good chance, that you are a descendant from the Dahomey Empire. So when you say, I don't want to know about the Dahomey Empire, I don't want to know about those people because they were slave traders, it's also like literally saying you don't want to know about your own history because like there's a chance that you are descendants of the Dahomey Empire. Like, a lot of Dahomey people were also stolen into slavery. So I feel like rendering them as the, like, it's this, like, you know, and this is the issue with Hollywood movies, and I get that. But, like, when you render, like, a monolith of, like, the good guys and the bad guys and the slave traders and this, without really knowing about African history and also the things that happened on the continent. Like, I say this a lot, but slavery happened on the continent. Like, I feel like there's not enough of that spoken about. And I feel like trying to make it seem like the slave traders and stuff like this, the slave traders, or like the Dahomey Empire is like equivalent to the white colonizer. It isn't comparable. And the reason that's not comparable is because if that was the case, if people constantly bring up, oh well, black people sold slaves, that would mean that the black person would be akin to having the same power and privileges of a white person. And because of colonialism, because of, like, black people were still colonized, right? Slavery was a result of colonization. So if you go to West Africa, you can still see remnants of how colonialism has destroyed and plundered the economy, the people, the mind, the spirit. So I definitely think that there should be an atonement to people whose lineage knows that they were involved with the slave trade. But I don't really know why this is coming up now for this movie, because the Dahomey Empire was fighting to protect their people. I feel like if you push a group of people into such a place where they're now having to get women and children, like a lot of them were children fighting, something is not right in the land. Like, I don't think that they voluntarily were like, yeah, like, I want to fight. I think that it's because death is happening at such a large rate that this is the response, that they have to fight. We can't judge what they're doing now with what they had to do to survive. That is literal survival. You're having to fight because your people are being stolen. And a lot of people that were stolen into slavery were people who were, a lot of people who were taken into slavery were people who were, what's the word? Like, when you're in war and you're taking someone and you're keeping them captives of war, like, there's just so much to unpack, but I don't think that it's fair to dismiss the whole Dahomey kingdom and to dismiss the story of what happens when women do band together and fight. And even, I don't even know how to get into this, but even the word woman king, just the word woman king came along by what white people were putting onto them. They were saying, oh, these women, they're very strong, they're fighting, they're tall, they're big, they must be kings. Like, and this is, once again, this is like how white people were viewing gender, how white people were viewing ourselves. Like, that word woman king is literally from the notes of the colonizers. So if there's anything else that is showing that our history is so linked to how colonizers want to tell our stories, like, this is it. I'm also seeing online that some people are saying that the Europeans were the ones who got the Dahomey people to stop selling slaves. I don't know how to tell you this, but I don't believe that. I really don't. I know that colonizers will always find a way of putting themselves as heroes and trying to diminish the violence that they did. I saw this tweet that was quoting one of the kings at the time in the 17th or 18th century who had said this. I'm gonna end on this. My mom said this to me. I was talking to her about this and how like this conversation that Black people also sold slaves and stuff like this. Because personally, my mom has always said that people who are stolen into slavery are people who are our siblings. So you should always look at people who are in the Caribbean, who are in South America, who are in the Americas, as people who could have been your siblings. That's why a lot of us look so much alike. That is why if you take someone on the continent and you take somebody who's in Jamaica, they can literally look like their siblings because we were taken from each other. And my mom broke it down like this. Imagine if you have 5 children and you don't know which child is the star, which child is going to bring the success, or which child is going to break generational curses. You don't know. So let's say that one of the children is the one that has the success, has the strength, and you sell that child. Right? You sell that child away. Who is that hurting? Like, who is selling yourself hurting? It's hurting us. And I think that there's this disconnect when we talk about Black people who sold slavery, that as if it didn't hurt us, you are selling your own. It is hurting you. I feel like we should look at it as a sword that is, as we're stabbing you, it's stabbing us deeper and deeper. There are a lot of, like, if you go to Africa, you see the state of it now. I feel like you can see a lot of things are still in response to these actions. Like, I'm not saying Africa isn't deserving of the things that they're in because of this, but I just feel like you can see the results of colonialism, of people, of white people, Arab people coming into the land and forcing people to change who they are and think a certain way to assimilate and survive. We are like puppets. And I'm not looking to Woman King to tell me my history, but I am interested to see. It's nice to hear Dahomey people being brought up. I want us to have critique. I want us to have question, but I don't like that we are attacking a dark-skinned cast before we've even seen the movie. But then the same people who are attacking that would be the first in line to go see Ariel, which is a story by a white man that just has a Black girl in replace of a white girl, which I'm not saying like, listen, I think that's cool. I think that's good, whatever. But that's still a white person's story. Like, we were never really drafted in that vision. This is actually a story that we were drafted in that vision. We were put into the story. Obviously, The Woman King is a Hollywood version of something that really happened in history. So we all know that when a Hollywood version of a movie is happening, especially when it comes to Black people, it's going to be remixed, right? Because often in Hollywood, they love the idea of a hero. And a hero is usually a singular person who usually has some elements of desirability or something. And they are the one who is leading everyone. Like, a lot of rebellions, a lot of fights don't have a singular leader. But, you know, because of Hollywood, it's good to follow one character around. So there's often this kind of making it seem like one person is in charge of many people. There's often a watering down of the story of what's going on. There's going to be a whitewashing of the history. That comes with every single movie about Blackness. Every single one that hits a Hollywood level is going to whitewash things, right? And often, you know, Hollywood movies are going to have white saviors. I get all those things. If y'all know me, I'm a critical queen. I love to critique things. I'm not someone who is going to be like, oh, don't critique any movie by Viola Davis. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I know that when I see the movie, I'm gonna have critiques. If you're upset that Woman King is playing, but then you're happy to go and listen to go watch The Little Mermaid and have no critique that that's written by a white man, or you're crying about Queen Elizabeth's passing, or you're cheering for Meghan Markle, who married into a family that supported slavery, please. I don't want to see you upset about Woman King. Like, you have to be consistent. And like, for me, of course, I'm going to have criticism at the fact that it's written by white women. Like, I'm not, you guys know me, I'm not about to give anyone a pass. I'm going to have my criticisms, but I just feel like this is misogynoir happening more now than I've seen before. Like, I didn't see, and I think that I feel like the real reason is people are mad is because it just doesn't have men as the main characters. That's why people are mad. That's why people are really, really mad, like that there's not men as the main characters. But sweetie, if you guys were to really think about how gender was playing out before colonialism and how we like think of these gender roles, you're gonna find some real wild shit. Like if you really do your history on Africa and see like how gender existed, queerness, trans, all that, your mind's really gonna be blown as well. So this is just one little door, one little avenue to just kind of look at it, take your own observations, make your own observation, do your history and research and go from there. I'm not expecting this movie to be something that changes me, but I am curious, and I don't really know why people aren't. So yeah, that's my whole thing. I hope it makes sense. Let me know what you guys think. Like, I'm gonna watch the movie probably either today or tomorrow with my mom, and then I'll probably do a review of that. But I'll put that on my Patreon most likely. But I'll let you guys know how I feel because I haven't seen the movie yet. So thanks for watching. Bye.